Hi, thanks for joining us. My name is Ted Nesbit, and I'm the state representative for the 8th District, which is Eastern Mercer County and Northern Butler County. I'm here at Harrisburg at the 102nd Farm Show and joined by Secretary of Agriculture Russell Redding.
Great to see you. Welcome.
Thanks for joining us. So tell us a little bit about what's going on this year at the Farm Show. How's it going? And tell us about some of the things you can see if you come down here.
Well, first of all, thanks for being here and being incredibly supportive of agriculture. Yeah, this is a week where every time I say it, I sort of marvel that 102 years on, the Commonwealth sort of takes 8 days to sort of celebrate agriculture in Pennsylvania, right? So it's an interesting sort of story and why do we do that? It's unique to the sectors, but very, very grateful that we take time during the year to talk about ag. If you're coming into the Farm Show, we've got a theme this year of strength in our diversity, and that is to represent the regions, the ethnicity, the races, the products, on and on, every metric, and that really diversity is our strength. We want to celebrate that during this week. But you come in here, every venue, there is something to see. If you're interested in the culinary stage, you can look at what we have there with the Pennsylvania Preferred Program. If it's livestock, the family living, there's a rodeo here, there's food here. So you get a chance to see Pennsylvania all inside this complex.
And agriculture is the largest, basically, industry in Pennsylvania. And you talk about diversity, I think people don't understand some of the complexities of agriculture. I know it's very important in my district, but if you could, it's also very important for the trade, world trade, and driving the economy of Pennsylvania. And generally, how is the market, how's it going right now for the ag business in Pennsylvania?
Yeah, so it's always sort of fascinating because we all think we're normal, right, and how we view things, and most folks who they know food, they don't necessarily associate that with agriculture. We see open space and that may not look like agriculture to them. So having a chance to sort of talk about that and really teach a little bit here during the week is important, but we need to talk about who is in this business of ag, and that looks like the equine industry, it's the food processing industry, it's the forest products industry. All of that is part of agriculture, not just the traditional sort of farm. That's important, but the whole segment of agriculture. We have strong markets here, but the reality is we also want access to 95% of the consumers who are outside the United States of America, right? We're about 5% of the world's population in the U.S. If you're in the food business, you want to have access to the rest of that market, and that's where we need to focus in agriculture and particularly in Pennsylvania. So watching, engaging, thinking about what we're doing around food and ag. I was in Canada several weeks ago just to sort of say, hey, we appreciate your $1.2 billion business, right, that they do with Pennsylvania. That's just agriculture, really important.
And I know talking to some of the local farmers, I mean, some of them, it's really hard right now. The margins are low, the prices are not where they wanted to be. What are some of the things that you're doing as the secretary or some of the things that the state government is doing to help those farmers out to make sure that they can thrive in today's economy?
Yeah, no, it's a great question, and one that I wish I could give you sort of a quick answer to.
Yeah, it's a complex question.
It's complex, but I think two things importantly. One, I want them to know that from a department standpoint, as they are looking at their own enterprise, if they're adding some type of dimension to that or thinking about expansion or thinking about transitioning to add something, is that they should engage with us in that conversation, right? Of your markets, from a financing standpoint, from a market standpoint, we can help them. Also want them to appreciate that we're in the marketplace trying to really identify PA product to the consumer here in Pennsylvania, but we're also trying to move that product and be an advocate for them around the world, right? Because we have to sort of be moving product, both our finished product, but also raw product, into markets, both domestically and internationally, and that we're doing that.
And one of the things that always fascinates me, I've taken the local farm tours and meeting with the farmers in my district and trying to help them with their concerns, is the technology that's involved. And especially even now with some of the satellite imaging and some of the new chemicals, and I see, Penn State's a large presence down here. What are some of the cutting edge things that you see, specifically at the Farm Show, that kind of people wouldn't expect to see at the Farm Show?
Yeah, so we have a couple of, there's a lot of different exhibits that'll highlight that. Two that come to mind. One is we have an area down here with a hydroponic operation with sensors in within the plant bed, right? That monitors moisture, monitors lights, monitors the heat, and calls for nutrients. That's embedded right in the soil. So the plant has sort of a real-time need, it's fed. And on the other part of the complex, we've got a conservation area where there's monitors built into the tractors that are capturing both the yields, soil types, soil moisture, all of that, loading it into a data layer. So you have this complete sort of profile of the field that you're planting. And I mean, I'd like to say it's almost routine because of the need to have that type of information.
And just an overall of the farm show, how long does it go? How many expected visitors? And I mean, not to be too specific, put you on the spot, but how many people are you expecting down here? And what are some of the other unusual things that people who haven't been to the farm show could see, and why they should come down?
Well, I think there's you've got a couple days left. We'll run all the way through Saturday, the 13th of January, and you have a chance to see a calving corner. I mean, so the birth of a calf here, and there have been births at the farm show before, but not in a calving corner, not someplace where actually the public can see, and full monitors. We've got a conservation area with some really cool conservation cover crop stuff. Culinary stage, we've got 101 stage that's got everything from soils to barns and aquaponics on the stage for a half hour, an hour. You want to learn more about it, and of course all the good food.
No, I was going to say, you leave out the best part with the food. I'm trying not to do it, but the milkshakes, you can't beat all the good food.
It's not a farm show without it.
All right, so I appreciate you.
It's great to see you. Thanks for your help.
And thank you for joining us. And once again, come down to the farm show. You will not regret the experience.